tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
Let's get ready to rumble! We got Nick.
Let's go, baby.
Do it.
I'm fired up, fellas.
Unky Nick on the desk.
Let's go.
Welcome, my man. Welcome.
I appreciate it. Let's go. I'm
Detroit
excited.
Mario. I'm excited for you too, man. Listen, I kind of had a choice here. Chris got his chance. I think it was only right to give you your chance. So.
I appreciate it. Let's go. From intern to Woodward Knights in the booth to heavyweights in the sound booth as well to getting a little shine on the desk here. I appreciate it. No better day to do it with the schedule being released.
Yes.
Packed show for you guys. I'm excited. And also, shout out Spenmo. He's probably crushing it at the wedding.
He's checking in for weekend jail, actually. He's checking in on Thursdays because Friday counts as a weekend day. So he gets his sentence over.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out Spenmo. Appreciate it. And I'm excited to be here.
Yes, sir.
No better time to be on the desk than breaking down this Detroit Lions run to the Super Bowl. Let's go, baby.
You could thank my guy Stick, because Stick is the one that brought me in, and I brought you in. So shout out to Stick.
Shout out Stick. Appreciate you.
We also got Chris Platte.
Yes, sir.
Founder of the Streets Roman. Brought him into the Woodward Sports family.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Shout
sir.
out.
It only took a year of you trying. What was it? A year, 2 years of you trying? But you got me.
It was like you kind of hold me a little bit. And I was okay.
You swooned me eventually. You know, you were courting. It was a long courting process, but we're here.
Chris was
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
You were gonna say something mean.
No, I was gonna say shout out to me, but shout out to you. And shout out to Justin, because you're also not in that chair if Justin doesn't step up to the plate and man the sound booth. So shout out to Justin, aka Jesus, aka Korean Jesus, in the building. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. By the way, Justin, I'm not even a Michigan fan. That is hard.
Thank you. Shout out my dad. Shout out my dad. He got me this jersey. Shout out Pops when we went to the Natty. Shout out.
I want to give Justin a shout out as well. Appreciate you. I wouldn't be right here right now if it wasn't for Justin filling in. That's my guy right there.
Me either, dog. You helped me out so much on that first weekend. All you guys did. So shout out heavyweight. Shout out audience. Love you all.
Let's rock. Appreciate it.
That's the like button. We gave out 50 shouts in the first show. All right, let's dive into the show a little bit here. We got obviously the Lions schedule that we're going to get to. Did you watch the video on how it was released to the world?
Yes, I did. From the Detroiters themselves.
Yes. Do you want to? Would you like to watch it again with the audience here?
Let's give it a little reaction.
Do I need to 3-cam this?
Just put us in the whatever, you know.
Yeah, I'll 3-cam it. Give me a second here.
Okay. We'll speak on that. Did you see the Giants' new uniforms?
Yeah, they're ugly.
Ugly as shit, right?
They're bad. Yeah, they're extremely bad.
I mean, Justin, I'm only hopping you right now because you're younger than me, for damn sure. But like, is this a thing? Is this a style for you young guys these days? These Giants jerseys, they're horrendous in my opinion.
I haven't even seen them, to be honest. So here's a live reaction to them because honestly, I've been working all day, haven't even looked at them. So I'll take a peek right now.
I just sent those.
Okay, gotcha.
They are.
Oh my god.
No, those are terrible. What
Just
the hell?
Yeah.
Just off the strength, these are terrible.
So when
why do they got that Michigan helmet too?
I think it was Pelissero that broke it, and then Mike, I searched a G's his last name, but he commented on it immediately because I don't know if you saw Peter Strager got hacked recently, and then the person was like trying to sell laptops.
I did not see that. That's hilarious.
So Mike's comment, though, to Pelissero was like, at least the other guy was trying to sell laptops. He thought he got hacked. That's how ugly these jerseys are. Like another reporter thought Tom Pelissero got hacked when these got announced as the Giants' new alternate uniforms.
Yeah, I thought it was a parody. Like when I first saw it, like I thought it was fake as well. I was like, there's no way that these are real NFL uniforms that are coming out of New York right now.
Ugly.
Especially like the amount of success that they've had. That's what they've put out.
Bro, isn't New York like a fashionable spot too? Like, don't they take pride in that?
Yeah.
I know. At least I know ASAP was like that was his whole thing as a fashion.
Well, he's a little busy pumping out kids with Rihanna every 6 months.
What a Drake this. Keep having sex, Rihanna looking good, bro. Good one, Drake. Thanks. I will. Don't worry, bud. Can you put it up to one more time for the audience? For anybody that missed it, these are the new alternate New York Giants uniforms. Chris, what is your take on these? These are horrendous, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're horrendous because they do look like a parody. This is my first time seeing them as well on the show here, and dude, what the hell? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not a fashion guy. I'm still learning what colors go with what. I just know that shit ain't it. Like, it's not it, flat out. It looks like It looks like either a cheaply funded or a trying to be vintage but not actually successful vintage look. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it almost looks like a throwback Patriots uniform or something with the red and blue. Honestly, like I don't get it at all. They missed with this one, Eazy.
I don't know if you guys remember those. They did colored ketchup, like early 2000s. It had to be a long time ago because I'm the oldest in the show now that JP's gone, and I was a kid. But it used to be like green and like blue ketchup. It was just, and it tasted different too. That's the other like weird part about it. Like, it wasn't supposed to taste different. It was just supposed to be a different color, but that shit tasted different. They look like those ketchup bottles. And I don't know if that's because I'm fat. I'm reverting to that or what it is, but not a fan of the New York Giants jerseys. But hey, hopefully they make them. No, not hopefully. They're in the NFC. Fuck them.
It makes you appreciate the Lions ones even more.
Oh my God!
You know,
yes.
with the all black.
Yes.
Like you could easily have missed the mark on this one. We didn't, thankfully. And just looking at the Giants ones, we're pretty lucky to have the blacks.
Amen. We are pretty lucky to have the blacks. Otherwise, the team would just suck in general.
Yeah.
The black jerseys.
Whole bunch of Knicks running around there. I mean, what's going on?
Exactly.
We do have the Detroit Lions video as they announce the schedule, and let's check it out.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Tim.
I'm Sam.
We're the advertising team the Lions hired to release the schedule.
So then we said, well, we've got a lot of great ideas for that.
A lot of the ideas, they just were like, no.
Some of them, they said, these are dangerous. Let's say we were met with pushback.
A lot of pushback, a lot of hurt feelings. I think it would be a big mistake if we didn't say them out loud just to get some reassurance.
Just to get them off of our chest.
We are going to do an attack ad on Fanatics because they leaked the jersey before it came out. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
That's not yours to give out! Then we're going to dox them, say where the owner lives and where the second in command lives. They said that's not good. They said that's mean.
And they said it was like dangerous.
It's like illegal or something, whatever. It's like, shh.
Yeah, sure. Then we said, well, how about we have a little talk with the referees of the Dallas game?
Just a little talk.
Just a little talk.
First commercial to have swears in it. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun, but we were going to do
yeah.
At the very least, people would go, what the hell did that just say?
Then we came up with the idea of, like, when we built this machine, the Liontron 2000. And so, like, the idea of it is that it, like, turns on, and then you,
yeah, we don't really know.
You put a hot dog in there, and somehow it disappears.
A hot dog that size, motherfucker. Oh.
It's not supposed to do that.
Is it not? Oh, it's cold. Whatever's coming out of there is cold.
Did you put some in this?
I didn't put smoke in it. We just glued a bunch of to a box.
The fire department came by and said, stop.
Everybody's telling us to stop doing what we're trying to do.
You could use this and then say, Lionotron 2000, what's the schedule look like? And you got to be the Lionotron 2000.
I don't know. What do you want me to do? Do a voice from it?
Be a robot. Can we talk about this in the back? I don't understand why you're trying to undermine. They said no. They said, what is it? What does it do? We said, we don't know.
But you said no to everything, so what do you expect us to do? The Lions have said, hey, how about we just release the list just without any attacking people?
That's your idea.
Yeah, they loved it because it's their idea. So without any further ado, here's the schedule.
Here's the schedule. These are the teams.
It's so bad that if you wanted it this early, I'd be
great
totally
one.
I did not like
Let's
that.
end it. Everyone's seen it. Let's end it.
What a great
Am I tripping?
schedule.
Am I tripping on that?
The
I mean,
Lions are going to win all.
I know, Chris, you like the one guy.
Yeah,
you're a fan
Tim
of him.
Robinson's my dog. Tim Robinson's my dog. My friend actually knows him, so
Oh, really?
yeah, no, because my friend, his best friend does stand-up comedy, is in like the circuit with Tim Robinson, used to live here, all of that. But no, I think Tim Robinson is funny. I think he does have a very peculiar style, and I think this time he was doing that style. It's a lot of screaming, it's a lot of dumb shit, it's a lot of awkwardness, but he just didn't do it that well in this one. I think it was off. I wasn't, as you guys saw me, I wasn't even laughing, and I'm the Tim Robinson guy
I
here.
smiled.
Yeah, I think
forced.
the beginning, like, it's just like his show in a sense of it's so cringy. It's like, I think you should leave. Like, they missed the mark with this one with those two guys. I think they should have done a straight roast session on the other teams.
Yeah.
I think they missed the mark with that because you have a guy like Tim Robinson who's so funny and he has so much momentum right now. I think they missed it. But what do you think?
I'm with you. I think just as easily. I mean, all they did was, in my opinion, and then I'm not. I really don't want. I don't want to like hold them or like come off disrespectful. I just wasn't a fan of that. I feel like any of us could have done that. It's you know what I'm saying. I feel like Spinning and I do that in the daily when we run out of topics and shit to say. You know, we're just up here being awkward.
Yeah, and I think it shows that show, I Think You Should Leave, which is one of my favorite shows ever. I think it shows that that's something that takes time. It takes time to find that balance of being cringy and weird and like off-kiltered and making it work. And I feel like he was doing the same style he always does. It's just I don't think he had enough time to really make it like what he wanted it to be.
In general, just because you know what, you could be right. Because One Piece, it just felt like it was always on. They didn't like give it a minute to breathe. It was just constant, awkward cringeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done it a lot better. And especially the Lions social media team
They
usually absolutely crushes it. So
Yes.
it was surprising to see this one kind of flop with everybody. But I think they were going for like the cringy, kind of hard to watch type vibe.
Yeah.
Which they hit, but it just wasn't as funny as I think they were going for.
It was a home run idea. I just think it wasn't executed well. Because I mean, Tim Robinson, again, if you want to show ties to the city, like that's a guy who, you know, is very successful. Like you said, has a lot of momentum right now. Has ties to the cities, obviously. Like it was a home run idea. I don't know if they presented it to him last minute or he just didn't put a lot of time into it. But I think he did his style. He just didn't do it as well as he normally does.
He's a drug problem. He didn't allow himself time.
I don't say that.
Because of his habits. See? That was 10 times funnier than what they did.
Yeah.
Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend. I want to sign up to do that next year. Did you see the Chargers? They kill it every single year.
I saw the Cowboys one, and I thought it was actually pretty good.
That one was actually good.
I was thinking...
They did the Lions twice. That's how fucking sweet we are.
Calvin and... Who was the...
Yeah, who was the second person? Oh, Ninja.
Yep.
Calvin and Ninja.
Yep. I thought it was good.
I did like that one.
And I hate giving the Cowboys any props, but they deserve props with that one. Good job.
You guys heard me try to bury their franchise yesterday. I don't like giving the Cowboys props either.
I can't wait till we get to that game prediction later, Eazy.
Oh,
I can't wait.
Okay, is it going to get spicy or what?
Justin, what you got in the booth?
Hey, what have you guys seen about the Rams schedule release?
Oh, I did see it.
I saw that. I mean, that's what the schedule release is. It's like your chance to kind of talk, take a little jab at your opponents. Everyone's doing it. So I'm not tripping. If you guys don't know, maybe I should have sent the picture or just at some point, if you want to send it in Slack there in heavyweights. It was Ford Field, but they just put like the STAF before the Ford, Stafford Field, and it's him rolling through. The one part I didn't get, though, is they went to like a comedy set afterward. There's like money all over the floor and a mic.
For who, the Dallas one?
No, for the announced the Detroit pick.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
A Detroit game, yeah. I'll probably just send the video just because I want to know, like, what is that an Easter egg? Because I totally get the Stafford Field, but what did that mean? You know?
Yeah.
I'll play it so you guys can see. Where we at? What time is it? We're passing.
Yeah, we're about time. Yeah.
Do you have the Planet Fitness reading?
I do.
Let's get it, baby.
Let's tell us about Planet Fitness, big dog.
Give me one sec here. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's Planet Fitness close by and more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
If you are tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today and get yourself some brand new merch, baby.
Chris, will you grab that?
I'm grabbing everything that was just sent.
Cool. Do the Chargers one first. Or not Chargers, I'm sorry, the Rams one first. 'Cause I just want to get out the way. Because I want the YouTube detectives to let me know their thoughts on the matter. Because I really got to know what that means. Really got to know what that means. You cut that mute down a little bit if you want to. Shout out Jesus in the building. Hold down the sound booth for Nick as he makes his debut on the desk.
Let's
Shout
go.
out to Chris Platte, taking all our last minute requests. You're a G for that one. Sorry for throwing these last minute requests.
Speaking of, here's one of those last minute requests right now.
Which one?
The Rams one.
All right, yeah. Get ready to pause this, all right?
All right, you tell me when.
All right. So this is the Rams schedule release. All right, get ready. So after they see Ford Field. See there, Detroit Ford Field. Pause. All right, play a little bit. Play a little bit. Sorry.
You want me to rewind it?
No, just play.
Pause.
Oh.
Pause. What's that mean? There's a microphone, the stage, curtains closing.
Oh, it is strictly Slim Shady here. That would be my guessing.
Yep. Eminem show.
Curtain call.
Close.
Curtain close.
Eminem
Yep.
show.
So they're
Closing.
closing the final chapter for Goff Stafford, or what?
I think so.
There's money on the ground because Goff just got paid. You
That's
can
a
get the
good
picture
little
up, Chris,
twist
so we can
there.
analyze it.
I like your
Dick.
analyzing. It's really in depth. I haven't seen no one do it this in depth before. I like it. I think you're spot on. I think all these are subtle jabs with subtle meaning.
Oh,
Here, so let me go back
you're
to
good.
that.
You can mute it if you want, so they could talk over it.
Yeah. Let me go back and
Yeah, there you see the Stafford live.
Yeah.
and then
All right.
boom.
All right. Yeah,
It's got to be the Eminem show. I think you nailed
I
it,
think
Nick.
you're right, Nick. Yeah.
Shout
Let
out
me look
Eminem. Yeah, I
me
think
look
they
at
were
the picture from that
making a
real quick.
Detroit reference there for sure. And you saw it there, the Stafford
That's from Encore, right?
No, that's
What's
Eminem
album?
show.
Eminem
That's the
Eminem
album
show.
cover.
I mean, you definitely there's Curtain Call as well. Greatest hits. So that could be.
Oh
it.
yeah,
But-
that is exactly from that.
So in Ford Field, there you see Stafford Field, and that was their jab. Nice try, Rams. You're about to go 0 for 2 in big games since Stafford's been gone. So, and that is a little tease to week 1 and your boy's prediction right here. But I didn't like the shot, especially after we beat him in the playoffs. But like you said, Eazy, it's lighthearted. That's what you do. Yeah, nice try.
Unless you're Detroit,
Let's see if
then
Let's see if it comes back to bite him.
we're just nice to everybody. Then we just do a shit comedy bit on top of it.
Yeah, not
Same, yeah.
not even roast the other teams.
Now the Eminem part though. Now is that a diss or homage?
I think it's a diss because, I mean, if you think about it, Eminem was from Detroit, moved out to LA once the Dr. Dre thing happened. I think it's kind of if they're that in tune, with the culture, then I think it's a shot of like, oh, Stafford's better now that he left Detroit. Like, life's better, that type of thing. Because Eminem was in Detroit, obviously, and then Dre took him out of Detroit, brought him to LA, did Eminem show. That's where he produced his best album ever, Marshall Mathers LP, all that stuff. If I'm reading like deep into it, if I'm getting in my hip hop bag, I think that is what they're going for. If they're smart enough, I don't want to give them that much credit, but I think it could just be a simple just Eminem play.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cool. I was curious. I peeped that, and everyone was kind of talking about the Stafford Field thing. I was more curious what the hell that meant. Great catch by you, Nick.
Let's go.
Speaking of great catches, I don't know if everyone's feeling this way about it, but I'm coming around towards it. The Jared Goff contract. I know yesterday we discussed guarantees and what was paid within the first 2 years,
Yep.
the first 3 years and whatnot. Well, today on Over the Cap, the numbers officially come out in terms of salary cap hits for Jared Goff and his new deal. Chris, you wouldn't mind putting that one up? Now, there's numbers that people are going to see, and they're probably going to have a little bit of a mini heart attack, and that's in the year 2026. You see a $69 million cap hit. That is egregious.
That's a lot of dough. Easy.
That is a lot of money. However, I don't know if you guys remember when they signed Penei when they signed Amon-Ra, those first 2 years were very light on the cap, which is going to be that year, I'm assuming, or around that time.
Yep.
So that makes sense. Yes, I went over just like the basic value of it is that like you can bitch and complain that Jared Goff needs elite talent around him to produce, and I'm not even opposed to like that ideology. However, we have the elite talent. We just do. And Brad Holmes continued adding more each draft class. And we also just locked up the two main pieces of that elite talent in Amon-Ra and whatnot. And it all makes sense. And then just one more time, Chris, if you put it up, I just want to make this point. Year 2027, there's no trade clause, by the way, which I will get to as well. But year 2027, if they did decide to cut him, obviously they can't trade him unless he waives that, they still save $25 million. And they have a dead hit of 29, but you can spread it over 2 years. So it really is a flexible contract. As heavy as the numbers are, they can be very, very flexible. And obviously the fourth year is an option too.
Yeah, Eazy. The big thing that stood out to me with this contract is the fact in that 2026 year where it is the $69 million that he's due, that is when Hutch and J-Mo are on their fifth-year options. So I'm thinking when they get extended, they're going to be able to manipulate the cap where that's the biggest hit for them. But I don't believe Hutch and J-Mo will have a massive cap hit because that's their fifth year of the extension from their rookie contract. So that's what stood out to me. I think maybe that's what Brad was thinking as well when he loaded up on that year specifically, because we all know that Aiden Hutchinson is a part of this future and there's not a chance that we're letting him go. And that's what I think Brad Holmes was thinking as well. Because after a lot of these DNs get paid, Aiden Hutchinson is going to be due up as well. I think he was thinking about that with this with this Jared Goff contract, excuse me. What do you think about that?
I'm pulling up the numbers from what I assumed would be the case with the $69 million cap hit. But no, Amon-Ra's in 2026, Amon-Ra's cap hit is $33 million. So actually it is pretty dense as well.
What is
that's 11% of the
what is Panay's this season?
11%.
Panay Sewell's?
Yeah, give me a sec here.
I'll pull it up right now.
Here, I'd like to say something though on Nick's point about J-Mo. Because of this contract, there also has to be some pieces that give. Not everyone is going to have the flexibility to be able to stay. J-Mo is a name that I think has a very high possibility of being a departure that we have to part ways with when we're trying to pay more of our key pieces. Because we already invested so much money into Amon-Ra, where there might not be room for J-Mo, especially, if we want to re-sign Laporta. There's so many people who are going to have to get the bag around the same time. Some of these stars or high-level players are going to have to give. And especially the mid-level ones, like guys like Alex Anzalone.
I know we have J-Mo through 2025 and the fifth-year option on top of that. So I think that's one guy you can keep, though, throughout that. Like, guys, like next year, probably the big concern. I think we've already talked about this, too. You were actually the first one to bring it up, Aleem McNeil. This is his last year, if I'm not mistaken. This is year 4, right?
Yeah, this is year 4 of Aleem McNeil. And we're all expecting the major leap from Aleem.
Yes. And again, I've been saying this every single show. That's not just us as, like, biased Detroit Lions fans. It's even outside. I'm able to have these conversations with certain people that expect the same things. Chris, you keep throwing your hand up. What's up?
Thank you.
Are you checking your armpits stink? You make sure you put in deodorant? What's up?
No, we're good. But I was looking at the contract again, and that's $69 million in year 3. I think that points to a lot of the things you were saying, Eazy, and I was kind of echoing those sentiments. I think we all were that, not saying that the window is only these first 2 years of this extension, but this is what Brad Holmes and company is looking at as the prime window of them winning a championship.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have the ability to retool even with that expensive cap hit that's coming 2 years from now. But they are operating under this 2-year window of this year and next year are the 2 years that we are most likely to win a Super Bowl. And I think the contract just shows that. I think that shows that shows a commitment on Goff's end to make it work, and I think that shows a commitment on Brad Holmes and the organization to make it work within these next 2 years.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you there. But the reason why I wanted to talk about Aiden Hutchinson's deal specifically is because we saw Penei Sewell reset the market
Yeah.
And he's due next year, which would have been his 5th-year option, $9.54 million.
Penei?
Yeah, Penei, which is the 5th year of his deal.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to specifically talk about Aiden Hutchinson, because I believe when he gets extended, that will be the last year of him being cheap, basically, is the Jared Goff $69 million season. So that's why I believe Brad Holmes did the deal the way that he did, so we can obviously keep guys like Aiden Hutchinson for the future.
Well, I'm looking. 26 is the year Jared. Can you put it back up real quick, Chris?
Yeah.
Just to be sure. 26 is the year JG jumps to that 69, right?
Yep.
And then, so Penei Sewell's, his 26-year cap hit, let me make sure, 2026, is 28.
Yep.
That's 9.9. Jared Goff, which, by the way, the reason why I hate these, you guys know my 12% rule.
Yep.
Literally doubling that with JG at 24%.
With the 69?
Yes, with that 69. And then you have Amon-Ra's $33 million, which is year 2026, $33 million, 11%.
No, easy.
Math that up.
And you think about Hutch, he's probably getting somewhere in the $10 million range that season.
Because the last couple years of his contract.
Last year of his 5th-year option.
Things are going to get into.
So when you talk about elite talent, Aiden Hutchinson definitely going to be at that elite mark.
That's 44% of your salary cap space in 3 players. But you are full of rookie deals. But like, I know you mentioned JMO, and Root for Radio, that probably would be the hot button name to bring up.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's so much, that's affordable, that $5 million. I feel like maybe it's Taylor Decker. I mean, maybe his days are numbered. They did go and draft a 6'8" Tongan Tower of Terror and Giovanni Manu.
I think that's a name to look at, and I think again at this point you don't necessarily have to worry too much about Jalen, because I don't think he's played out his contract to where it's concerning as far as the future goes. Now he has all the capability and tools this year to make that happen, but to me the 24% is really interesting. I wonder if Brad Holmes is planning, and there's some sort of wink in this negotiation where depending on how these first 2 years go, year 3 they look to kind of restructure along with that team option, like figure out some mechanics and kind of almost rework the deal from year 3 on. I think that's a possibility. What do you guys think?
For a lot of it, like for Amon-Ra and Penei?
No, I'm saying for Goff specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So
because that's such a high jump for me that I wonder if it's with that 4th year being the team option, I wonder if that's going to be something where he's kind of at that point they restructure and they renegotiate and they kind of work out a new deal to where it maybe they add on a year but they knock that cap hit for that year drastically down. I don't know.
So the thing that stands out to me and that what came out today, and I'd be doing a disservice to everybody that is listening right now if I did not bring this up to you, Eazy, the fact that there is a no trade clause in this contract. First thoughts on that, because obviously that is a big deal when it comes to your now franchise quarterback. Eazy, how you feeling about no trade clause for Jared Goff? That was something that he was adamant on getting in this contract.
Listen, we can get into it, but not before you tell us about that morning show.
Yeah.
How
That's
about
a good old tease right there.
That was great. I think
that's why you let me change the topics, motherfucker.
I think it's Feldman.
No, it's a morning show, then Feld.
If you guys are waking up and it is not with Woodward, you are doing it wrong. Make sure you wake up with Woodward every day and join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woo woo.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Feldman Advantage. With over 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you and catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, then? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy. I can't say Smo Rex. I'm so used to saying that. I'm joined by Detroit Mario, a.k.a. Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's go.
Young Chris in the booth. Young Jesus in the booth. I'm still not really fully comfortable saying that one, but we'll keep rocking with it.
Hey, no one stopped at anyone so far, so it's probably not going to stop. So you might as well keep saying it.
All right. So the JG contract, we kind of go over like the cap hits. And we aligned it in that year 2026 with the other guys that got repaid, or just not repaid, but extended. Amon-Ra, Penei Sewell, and all 2026 are getting paid fat. The three of them, you include those decimals with it, it's 46% of your salary cap space. Again, everyone's on a rookie contract. I'm just reviewing what we just discussed, because I actually did the math during that commercial break. But you had asked a question beforehand, and I wish I'd grabbed the clip for you, Chris. But Jared Goff revealed today that there's a no trade clause in his contract.
Interesting.
It is very interesting, and the way he mentioned it too is almost as if that were the trade-off. For as crazy as contracts look, maybe a little bit of a discount.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Because there's one or two things, and I already know what the Gobbler's going to decide with, right? When a top five guy, a true top five guy or potential to be top five guy, re-signs his contract, he resets the market. Justin Herbert, reset the market. Joe Burrow, reset the market. Lamar Jackson, reset the market. Each one of those guys, when they got paid, that market was reset.
Yep.
Jared Goff, a guy who was, Matthew Stafford, a guy who was viewed as an upgrade over Jared Goff. When he considered here in Detroit, reset the market. That didn't happen with the Jared Goff deal. And it felt like the way he announced that no trade clause was either the trade-off or maybe we got a little bit also kind of true value there. You know what I'm saying? But I was on the phone with Dion before the show. He did mention that all the guys I mentioned as well, no trades. But it sounds like Jared Goff wants to be here regardless if he wanted that no trade clause.
Yeah, it did sound like he was extremely happy that he did get that no trade clause. It kind of sounded like everything that happened to him in LA honestly kind of took a toll. Like he seemed relieved with the no trade clause in my eyes, listening to him talk. And I think it's good for him, obviously. For the team, obviously, it's less flexibility, what you think about always. But I think this is a good move for Goff. I think it's a good move for the team that he knows that he is our quarterback. And I think that's massive going forward with the confidence in this locker room and the confidence in this team that we're going to get the job done ultimately and get to that Super Bowl. That's obviously the end goal.
That's something he kind of harped on too, was that that was a goal of his.
Yep.
But
they're not backing away from it, which I love to see. That's their expectation.
And I always speak about this guy who used to wear that exact jersey in the sound booth, Tom Brady. And one thing, and the reason why I'm big on the cap space, the guy who has the most rings, notoriously was famous for what?
Taking less money.
Taking less money to help the team. Now, I don't look at this and say he's taking less money, but obviously they could be restructured down the line at some point. I'm sure something's coming for somebody in 2026. I mean, those cap hits, I don't know what Mike Disner's got going on. He's obviously more smart than me when it comes to that stuff, but I'm assuming something's going to kick down the road here. But it is a little bit of a discount. And I don't know if that's due to market value, because I never perceived him as a top five guy, or because of no trade clause. But again, those other guys at the top of the game have no trade clauses as well. Juices?
I think an important factor as well is when you are paying this money, and you can kick it that far down the line, there's a window, and it's going to close at some point. And it's always better to fully reset when that happens. I know that's a long way away. But when that does happen, you eat the years being bad, you gain the young assets, and you just rebuild right instead of continuing to just kick it down the line like the Saints do, and they've absolutely ruined their franchise for like the past 5 years.
I don't know that they ruined their franchise. I just don't think I don't think they have a good coach. I think like a solid team. They got something you could field. I think Dennis Allen is kind of ass, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know why they kept him. I don't know why they hired him in the first place, to be honest with you. Is that disrespectful to say? Maybe a little bit.
No, I mean, maybe a little, but I think that they have the pieces there, but they just don't have enough of the mid-level guys that you can say the Lions have so many of, and that so there's such a good supporting cast for what we're trying to do, where they don't have a true identity.
Yeah, there's two different ways to like do, I guess, to construct yourself to a Super Bowl, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, you need a true like roster, unless you have a Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes is one of one. If we're being quite honest about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
You could have the thing that I love, the route that I wanted to go initially, the rookie deal.
Rookie deal, stack team.
And then you stack the team that way.
Like the 49ers.
Like the 49ers.
Like the Texans.
Like the Eagles, like the Texans, right? Or, and this is the part where the reason why you don't see it, multiple reasons why. Doing it with a high-paid quarterback, but at that point, you need a GM that is knocking it out of the fucking park. Because you can stack your team through the draft.
Yep.
But not many guys have done it at a Brad Holmes hit rate. So like we have that much confidence, and that's maybe part of the reason they're carrying this on too with the money and trying to do it this way. It's also a winning formula, right? We talked about another piece that helps Jared Goff work is leaving anytime soon. They're all kind of here. But there's two different lines of thinking, and yeah, we're very much in the, I guess, surrounded with rookie deals, and we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. The window's going to be open, though, for at least 2 more years.
Oh, yeah, at least. I think that's minimum there. But I think this speaks to, which we've seen in press conferences before, this speaks to the confidence in Brad Holmes. You guys all remember he came with receipts for the media when it came to his drafts specifically. So this speaks to the confidence Brad Holmes has in his department of scouting, and it speaks to the drafts that he's had in the past and that he thinks he'll have in the future of being able to draft quality late in the draft and absolutely crush it, like the way that we've seen Kansas City do around a Mahomes. Obviously, the quarterback level is not going to be a Patrick Mahomes level, but the drafting can be better than the Chiefs on Brad Holmes' level, and I think that's what he has confidence in himself, building a team around an expensive quarterback when it comes to 2026, 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
I believe that there is a plan in place. I do believe that things are going to be different for this roster in the year 2026 than what it looks like now. I'm not just talking the simple terms of new players and all that. I mean those three specific contracts. Like, to me, the big three is dead in the NBA. I can't imagine it succeeding in the NFL. Like, even in the NBA, you can't do that. And there's only 13, 14 guys on a team. You can't do that in the NFL. And I know Brad Holmes knows that. And I do think, like you said, Nick, I do think there is a level of trust in Brad Holmes, top to bottom in the organization, of his drafting ability. But I do think that there is some sort of plan in place. And I do think that somehow, one way or another, whether it's Goff, whether it's Panay, whether it's Amon-Ra, whether it's all three of them, there will be some restructuring, some shifting, some financial moving to make that contract work, because they're not going to just 2 years compete for a Super Bowl and then be like, well, this year we are totally screwed, and then and bite the bullet for a year, 2 years. No, they're gonna explore their avenues. They've shown it. Brad Holmes has shown his creative ability to maneuver around money. Remember last season when we just kept getting cap space? We didn't sign anybody. We just kept getting cap space. We just kept maneuvering. So I trust Brad Holmes to do that.
Listen, I know there's like slander, lies, and propaganda spread across the BDE. Does it sound like I'm freaking out? I see comments in chat, easy workout, calm down. I'm not freaking out. I don't
think everybody is. I think everybody's just pointing out what the numbers will be.
Because I heard a clip where Neil said I said this was a bad deal. Has that ever came out of my mouth once? I've not said that. Guys, if that's what still continues, I never. Well, we did
agree. To be fair to Neil, he probably took it out of context, but we did all agree that if they don't win a Super Bowl, then it's a bad deal.
That's spinny.
I thought you agreed to that.
I mean, I don't know. I could probably. I didn't say
I'm with
it.
that, by the way. I'm with that, by the way. I don't think it's a great deal if you don't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is what. Listen, the flexibility of it, and in 27, 28, if things aren't working out post Ben Johnson, you could make the move of moving on. You just gotta have that other piece. Obviously, you can't just do it. But
and let's understand that we're saying if we don't win a Super Bowl here, then it's a bust. Like, could you imagine saying this? I couldn't my whole entire life before a guy like Brad Holmes. But we are, it is like we're saying out loud Super Bowl or bust. Yeah. That is our life as a Lions fan right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's just all get around that. Like, that's absolutely insane. And that is the new norm. So, I mean, I'm excited just to even say that.
Damn right. It is the new norm for the statement that we've made, but our guy Byrne sent a $5 donation to
shout out Byrne.
Restate it. He says, we have a great team around Goff. We have great coaches. We have a great front office. It will work out. We can find the heir apparent on our time. And that is very, very true. Real quick to that Saints point, they actually finished the same record as the Bucs, who won the division last year. So you keep kicking it down, you just got to have the cash to do it. Because those signing bonuses are paid immediately, and they go into escrow, and that's when they count towards the salary cap. But I know you didn't want to do the salary cap show all day, Nick. I apologize.
What? We're all good, bro.
We will,
breaking it down?
We will, I guess, to sum things up before we go to break here. The no trade clause. He wants to be here. I don't think he wants to go to a situation where he has to restart and rebuild.
Yep.
He's already trying enough. He already succeeded at that. Let's continue to grow from there. He loves everybody here. He has to. It's part of like a rebirthing of himself. I've always, no matter what slanderous things are said upon my name when it comes to Jared Goff, I've always been appreciative and respectful of just the bounce back, the renaissance he's made of his career. That is so admirable for anybody to have done. And I have it come along with playoff wins, fucking tremendous. And we're locked in now, so.
Exactly.
But if you have a bad game, I'm going to fucking talk about it. Let's get that right.
With all due respect, yeah, you're more than welcome, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I was freaking out after Baltimore last season. Don't get me wrong. Those balls were hitting the ground quick out in Baltimore, out in the windy Baltimore terrain that there was going on out there.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause I remember the thing that Stick and the name won't mention, they always kind of harp over it or get upset about it, is I put out a tweet at November at some point last year, and I was like, 2023, we're just riding out to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm being supportive of Goff up to the Super Bowl. Call me the best play-action quarterback. But then he had a fucking horrendous game. As somebody who sits here and speaks about the game, am I not supposed to talk about the horrendous game? Because you went back on what you said. No, bud, I'm talking about the shit game he just had. Like, that's the context of what was going on in that situation. I'm sorry.
No doubt. And when he goes out and throws for 350 and 3 tutties, you'll be there congratulating him as well.
I will.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Fuck, I cried after the first playoff win.
Yeah, we were partying pretty good after that first one, right?
Yes, but I'm speaking about winning Super Bowls. I have to give an honest opinion. At least I only know to give my honest opinion.
Exactly.
So I can't sit here and lie to you guys. I'm like, yeah, Super Bowl, for sure. Lock it up, top 5 QB. I can't do that.
In your honest opinion, where should you get some insurance, Eazy?
That's Swiss. And that is my honest opinion. You ask me right now who I tell you to go to, it's Mark at SwissINS.com. Make sure those rates aren't climbing up. Make sure those deductibles aren't climbing up. My clients, if they don't have insurance on the new cars when they purchase with me, guess who they go see? It's Mark at SwissINS.com. If he can't get it done, he knows a guy who can. That's Mark at SwissINS.com.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Guys, Dispo Dispensary is the local campus plug. There's multiple locations across the great state of Michigan. Tap in with them. That's DispoShops.com. Or Dispo Dash delivered to your front door. Must be 21 and older to participate. It's Dispo, your local campus plug.
Smoke weed every day.
That's fire.
That's fire.
Dispo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did we get that?
Well, yeah, the Nate Dogg drop. You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't. Can you press again?
It was Nate Dogg from the classic record. Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Damn.
Come on, bro. That's fire, man.
Justin, you got to show me that one. Let's go.
Yeah, I got you. Drops too, baby. Don't worry.
Let's roll.
Let's go. Listen, this guy is an all-time great.
Oh, Nick.
No offense to you, Nick. This guy's killing it.
Yeah, Nick.
The best. I mean, We were on the same team his first day.
Yeah.
He was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, you guys weren't down there, but it was great downtown. Justin was, we were like Batman and Robin down there for sure.
Hey,
but
Nick,
basically two Batmans.
All I'm saying is you better kill it on this desk because your job in the booth is gone. Your job in the booth is gone. You gotta make it work up there.
Let's roll. We're breaking down some predictions here soon. We got some odds for some games. Let's see which one Eazy wants to pick first.
Run it up, Nick. I'm gonna have you take this one away, man. Start with the first game of the season.
Schedule.
Shout out
I'm
to
fighting for my life in the
gamblers.
chat right now.
You're fighting for your life? Do you got an old friend fighting back at you?
No, I'm just all ears for the bad takes I had because which ones didn't come true. Just saying. The Speakeasy Sportsbook been open. The house always been winning. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The book is open. Don't ever let it fool you. All right. You guys want to start with week 1? The rematch of the LA Rams and the Detroit Lions. The old quarterback comes home. The all-time leading, maybe not leading, but touchdown getter at the University of Michigan, Blake Corum, makes his debut in Ford Field. You want to start with that one, Eazy?
Go ahead, man.
How are you feeling about the rematch of Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff?
I kind of hinted towards this a little bit yesterday, but I think this is not the perfect, but a great piece of ammunition for a guy like Dan Campbell to play the mental warfare that he does. The way he's able to get everybody to buy in with him.
Yeah.
This is an easy story to sell. I mean, beyond Blake Corum, who gives a shit about him, we know what it is.
Oh, I know. I was just hyping it.
No,
You got to shout out the Michigan
great
there, you know.
But it is the fact that Matthew Stafford had some shit to say after having some shit to say and taking the L in Ford Field. It is the fact that the LA Rams had announced their schedule with the Stafford Field when we had Jared Goff, who won us our first playoff game and forever in eternity. If you guys have ever seen the movie Holes, like that's Dan Campbell's ammunition for week 1. So I'm glad we had that to go. The following week, I think the similar thing too. He could sell it as these guys want to whoop that ass. These two teams back to back, the two teams that you face in the playoffs, and you beat. So I like it. I like that it's the Rams. I like that it's prime time. It gives Dan Campbell something easy to sell. Keep these guys pumped up to training camp to be the best they can be when they show up. Are you nervous at all for Stafford's revenge game?
I was talking pretty wild yesterday, not going to lie, about I don't want a tribute video for Stafford. I think we should close the yearbook and honestly just move past everything. To be a little nervous, I think, is normal for this game because we've seen Stafford in these type of scenarios. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but don't get me wrong. I'm confident that the Detroit Lions will start the season 1-0 against the Rams. I know they tried to upgrade that D-line in the draft going with Verse and Fisk, but one guy that's not in the middle of that defensive line anymore is Aaron Donald, and we are going to be able to run the ball, control the clock in this game. I believe that 100%. Get the play action going for Jared Goff. J-Mo shows up, big day, especially after a full training camp for the first time. I think the Lions start the season 1-0 on Sunday Night Football. Chris, how you feeling about this first matchup?
I feel confident, but like you said, you can't underestimate Stafford. Look what he just did. And I think the key point to look at, too, especially going against a good quarterback in Matthew Stafford that will have a lot of continuity, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is that our defense has been completely remodeled. The secondary especially has been completely remodeled. There's been massive additions to the front line, including the coaching there. So it's possible that this defense could look a little shaky to start the season. I know this is a defense that will obviously get better, and they're playing the long game, but I do think that there is going to be adjustment periods. And again, if your Terry Arnold is starting week 1 or else he's a bust narrative is true, then that might not be good for him because he's going to go up against good receivers, and he's going to be in a new system that he's spending this summer learning. It's gonna take time, man. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take reps. So I do think it is possible. I think it's appropriate to have a little bit of fear, but you are the better team. You should go out and win this game. I don't think this game could be slept on by any means, but I do think that there is some pause for not concern, but just appropriate fear.
How about you,
Justin? How you feeling about this game?
I think it's going to go just like the playoff game. I think our roster's better. I think their roster's better, but I still think overall we got the advantage in pretty much almost every position on the field. I just don't, especially without Aaron Donald, I think that they're just not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to do much on that defensive side to stop us. Our offense has proved to be top 5 last year. It's going to probably be top 5 this year. I don't see, I would be disappointed. I would definitely be disappointed. I hate to say it, but I would be.
Yep, no doubt.
Game number 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Another rematch.
Another one to keep them on their toes. You know, and this team, I said it yesterday too, professional coaches. You're playing a team 3 times in a calendar year.
Yeah.
You better know what the hell they got going on.
That was a great point.
You better know what the hell they got going on. Otherwise, it's a fireable offense. Although you mentioned the Seahawks beat us again. Ain't no way in hell we're firing Nick Campbell for that. No, leave that up. I want it up. We'll just combine them.
Gotcha. All right.
By the way, the LA Rams game, if you guys were wondering, I saw it in the chat already. -3 favorites for the Detroit Lions in that one. I think I got them winning. We all have a win in that one.
Yep. Everyone's got them starting 1-0.
Gonna speak the same for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
I respect what Baker's done. Similar renaissance to what JG did for his career too. Different path, obviously, to the bottom, but obviously, you know, trajectory is up. But Detroit Lions is a better team. They're just a better team, and I love our coaches too.
Yeah, when you talk about a revenge game, a revenge spot for the Buccaneers, this definitely stands out. But you know who it's also in a revenge game for? Carlton Davis, who they traded. And when it comes to this revamped secondary, I just don't believe that the Bucs have the firepower on offense to be able to stand strong with this Lions offense either. I just, quite frankly, do not think they match up well against these Lions, and that's why I believe we get the clean sweep. We beat them 3 times in the calendar year. Detroit Lions start 2-0 to open the 2024 season. Chris, how you feeling about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup?
I think much like the Rams, I'm sticking with my point of continuity and growth, and these are 2 teams that you should have appropriate fear for, but it's going to be carried by the offense. These, I think, are both going to be high-scoring games, and I trust that the synergy on Detroit's offense is going to be enough to outduel the Rams and Tampa Bay. I'm more confident in the Tampa Bay game just because I like the Rams roster more than I like the Bucs roster, but you're right. These are 2 teams that are going to give their absolute best shots. These are teams that we sent home. We ended their season, and they are going to come with the fire. Just like Week 17, we are going to come with the fire at San Fran. These 2 teams are going to come with a fire at us, and I think you need to be ready for that. And I have no doubt that a guy like Dan Campbell, a coach like Dan Campbell, will have his boys ready for that because that's where he shines. He shines in motivating his players, but you do have to just be ready for that.
Definitely.
Chooses.
I think this is a little trappy. I definitely think the emotions will be high from week 1. I think we saw that when we played the Seahawks last year and took an absolute stinker early in the year. It's early in the season. Tough back-to-back opponents. I have a little bit more fear, honestly, of this game than I do of the Rams game. I think that the opportunity for the letdown spot is very big this early in the season, and I think that will go into the next game as well, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. Next one, actually, we got to go to break.
Yeah.
Let's go to break real quick. Tell us about Les Stanford, Nick, and then we'll get back to the schedule.
Yep, let's do it. Give me 1 sec here.
Stanford.
And I don't want to say it on the mic. This is a conversation going on in the chat, but I don't want to piss everybody off all at once. I still, view Jared Goff as a bridge quarterback. I just don't see him as a guy you're going to win the Super Bowl with. I hope it happens.
All right. Well, why don't we make an audible do Soroki's? We'll do Soroki's, and then we'll figure out Les Stanford.
Yes, sir. Soroki's Crispy Chicken Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try a mega station near you or go to www.sorokis.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today or at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. You got young Chris, Jesus in the building. Just probably some comments from the sports chat before we get back into it. Paul Thomas says, but Eazy, because I talked about, I would have, if I'm being straight honest with you, I would have allowed Jared Goff to play this year out. Decide then, because then I would have a better idea what I have JG and Hooker. So I think he signs around the same value. You still give him all the same benefits he has right now. I would have waited it out. I would have. And then Paul Thomas said, but then Pinay and others are insecure. No, because that's exactly what happened with the Ravens. They're right back in it. It doesn't work that way. I mean, we could say everyone's happy, and they are happy for the guy. It doesn't affect the way they play on their field because they're professionals. But
yeah, I think the guys in the locker room just back Jared Goff as well. So I think they're happy to see their quarterback get paid, and I think it gets everybody on the same page entering the season. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Ravens got bounced in the first round of the playoffs that season. I think we're all thinking Super Bowl here or bust, and I think to get everybody on the same page is good to move forward with, and Brad Holmes obviously believes in Jared Goff to be that guy to get him there.
To Silent, to Booner, anybody else, the Eazy Sportsbook is open, 5-1 odds.
Easy's book is open. We are taking bets, or Eazy is taking bets. I'm not taking any.
They win that Super Bowl, you get cashed out $500. They don't. House money.
Yeah, is it 500 or
5-1?
Okay, 5-1 odds.
I'll do 5-1.
I'll take the plus 1,400 from the sports book. Thank you.
All right. I'm just saying, if you want to be able to talk shit to me, 5-1. Moving on to the schedule though.
Yeah,
I don't actually have it in front of me. That's why I was kind of
got you.
Get rid of them.
It's right here, Arizona. How you feeling?
I like that. Arizona.
Yep.
Listen, I think I said this a little bit yesterday too.
You did.
With the unofficial, they're going to be a tough out. Looking on at least through DraftKings odds, they're a tougher spread than Tampa Bay. You're also on the road with that one, but I think AZ is going to be a tough out. I have a W here, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have a W simply because it's hard for me to say they're going to take this out. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is a trap game. I wouldn't.
Yeah, in my opinion, I could see the Arizona Cardinals kind of getting hot a little bit later. It seems like to me they're a young team in development, and a guy like Kyler Murray and a guy like Maserati Marv are going to take a little bit to get going. And that's the biggest matchup to me in this game, especially because it's week 3. I think Terrion will be starting by this point. I think he's going to be acclimated well to the NFL. And this is going to be a test of 2 of the top rookies in this draft class going up against each other. And I'm excited to see this. This is going to be fireworks in Arizona. I believe the Lions start 3-0, though, and get going, because I think Terrion's going to be able to contain Maserati Marv. I don't think he'll go off for over 100 yards in this game.
Okay.
Like we've seen all of the receivers do against a guy like Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 that we just went over, Rams, Bucks, Cards, could you see it be a trap? No.
I could see it being a little trappy, but I think the hardest game within the first 3 of this schedule is easily the first game against the Rams. I think that will be the toughest game, and things will start to get a little bit easier once you go down the list of Bucks and Cardinals. I think once you take care of business versus the Rams, we're going to be able to take care of business in this next 2 and moving forward. But Chris, how are you feeling about this Cardinal matchup in week 3? First away game of the season.
It kind of reminds me of a situation where you're coming off a hot streak. You're coming off KC, right? Last season, opening win KC. That was great. The whole city was lit up. And then you kind of have a little bit of that letdown against Seattle. Like, I wonder if Arizona is that. It's the first road game of the season. I think I would expect the Lions to win. I'm not picking them to lose this game. I have them 3-0 right now as we're talking here. But I do think that this does give a little bit of the deja vu with the Seattle game of you're riding high off 2 impressive wins against 2 playoff teams that gave you their best shot. And then Arizona's this young, scrappy, up-and-coming team. And so I think that there is real ability. But, Nick, you pointed out, you hit the nail on the head there to me when it comes to this team is young, developing. I'd rather play this team in week 3 than week 13. And I think that that's where I'm at with Arizona. So I'm pretty confident in it. I have them 3-0, but I will say that, coming off of that 2-0, keep your head focused.
Now, Judas, did you do your picks on BDE? And I saw you did sound from today.
Not necessarily. No, not really. We only talked about the toughest game that we thought, and then our most anticipated game. But we didn't.
I kind of like that.
Fully dive into the entire schedule.
Do you want to do that instead, or do you want to keep going game by game?
I'm down for whatever, man.
I'd love to jump in on this Arizona game real quick, if you don't mind, because this is. I think if we lose one of our first 3 games, I think it's this Arizona game. I just think first road game. I like what Chris said. He's got they're on a hot streak. They're on a high. They're getting all the media love. Everyone's loving up on them. They're like, oh yeah, we're 2-0. Yeah, our Super Bowl odds are gonna go down, and then we clunker against Arizona on our first road game of the season. I don't see it double at home. I don't really see a way we lose those games. We're a better team and we're at home, but I do see a potential loss at Arizona.
I'm with you. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this season. Actually, a guest that we're going to have on a little bit later in the show had Arizona Cardinals winning 9 games. That's Dosa Dia.
Whoa.
Who'll be joining us later. Yeah, they were very reminiscent of the 2021 Detroit Lions last year, in my opinion. A lot of tough breaks, a lot of close games, a lot of games they shouldn't have been in. Matter of fact, I think it was the Rams. No, it's the Cowboys they beat last year with the Pastronaut. Remember the Cardinals were on a little bit run there. Like the Pastronaut was getting some hype. And up until he finally had a bad game, he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings. Continuing on with the schedule itself. Let me calm down. We're not even at that game yet. But Seattle's the next one up.
The Hawks.
All right, it's a -6. There's a new coaching staff. You don't really know what to expect. I'm going to go with another W for my Detroit Lions in this one. I do have respect for Seattle. I do have respect for Mike McDonald. I just don't expect them to be ready enough to go against what Detroit's bringing. And that's a juggernaut of a football team. As Byrne put it earlier, good team, good coaches, better pizza, Papa John's. Like we're just bringing it to them.
Exactly. I'm right there on the same page with you. And we don't have to see the Grim Reaper on the other side, which is Pete Carroll. It seems like we have always lost to Pete Carroll. He's gone. Luckily, we don't have to face him. And I just think this Lions team is flat out better than the Seahawks. Third time will not be a charm for the Seahawks. We get our revenge in week 4 for the Lions. I got them at 4-0 right now before the bye. Monday Night Football. Shout out Angel, biggest Seahawk fan I know in Detroit. I guarantee we're going to make a bet on this one, and you're going down.
Amen. You guys got W's too, Seahawks?
Oh, yeah. The Seahawks are losing this game. Yeah. 100%. I think that you nailed it. There's no Pete Carroll. This is a team that, and I talked about the synergy and taking time for that to mold. I think weeks 4, then coming after the bye week against Dallas, I think that's when you really start to see this team turn a page and even take it up a level. So I'm looking at that Seattle game as food. Honestly, I'm more confident in that one than the others. I know I said yesterday's show, hey, can't sleep on Seattle, but that's obviously my theme. You've said it. You've heard me say it with every game so far. Don't sleep on any of these opponents, but this is one I'm more confident in than I'd say all of them but Arizona, sorry. I'd say Seattle is the second easiest game so far for the Lions on their schedule. Plus, it's Monday Night Football, right? So, you know how Detroit gets down on Monday Night Football. You know how they get down. There's going to be false starts. There's going to be all sorts of shit. It's going to be a riot.
Lions fans.
Chris, great point.
Jesus?
They better beat them. I'm tired of the Seahawks. It's ridiculous at this point. We've lost to them for 2 straight years, and it better not be a third. Last year was ridiculous. We better do it. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, sir. Moving on.
How are you feeling about the week 5 bye though? We got to hit on it.
Yeah, I don't want to drag it out too much, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Like me bitching about it, me not being happy about it, isn't gonna change it.
It's not.
I'm definitely not happy about it. I mean, I can't do anything.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm right there with you. I think having a bye before the Dallas game though will come in clutch. And speaking of that Dallas game, week 6, not a primetime game, but it is a 4:25 Fox game. So the next closest thing, America's game, the next closest thing there. How are you feeling about the Cowboys revenge game, the matchup at Jerry's World in Dallas? What you got?
Real quick, only 5 1:00 games for Detroit Lions this year.
Whew.
They want all eyes on Detroit Lions at all times. they just know all eyes are on Detroit Lions at all times. Why are we, according to the sports book, a point and a half? I mean, sorry, not a point and a half, but a half a point.
Yeah.
With the underdogs, a half a point. Where did the Cowboys get better to earn this respect? Where did the Cowboys get better to earn this respect? They got their asses mollywopped at home by Jordan Love and a band of 1 to 2 year receivers.
Let him cook.
Where did they get this respect? Why? Easy money for me, though. Plus money. I'm taking it. I'm making it. Why? Vegas, easy money. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
What the fuck?
Tell me one spot where the Cowboys improved.
Definitely not on running back. Definitely not.
Juices, did the Cowboys get any better at any single one position at all this year?
Absolutely not. They are so fraudulent.
Fuck, dude?
Their quarterback's fraudulent. Now they got, I'm Zeke. I'm back in the backfield. Woohoo! That's their answer to their troubles. Yeah, good luck this year, Dallas. That's all I gotta say.
I know everybody in this room and the audience remembers Derek Barnes absolutely whiffing on a safety against Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Good thing for us, we have a guy who shoots out of a cannon when he's coming out of the line. James Houston will be gator rolling, completing that sack. Maybe not gator rolling, which we've seen in the past against a guy like Trevor Lawrence, but we're going to complete the sacks in this game. Maybe a safety. I expect a big game out of our secondary trying to contain a guy like CeeDee Lamb, which we saw absolutely explode last year. A lot of guys are going to be reporting eligible in this one. I believe that for sure on some trolling by Dan Campbell and the squad. I believe the Lions should not be underdogs in this game at all.
Yeah.
And I believe the Lions are going to roll the Cowboys in Dallas, in Jerry's World. And this will be the point in the season where the Lions are talked about right there with the Chiefs and being one of the top 2 teams in the league, maybe even the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl after they stand 5-0. Chris, how are you feeling?
Somebody asked me last night, like, what do you think all the games in Dallas? Why are there never games in Detroit? The referees did that shit in Detroit, and I'm not saying I hope this. I'm confident. I'm not asking for it, but shit would be hot. Yeah. Shit would be dangerous for a strike motherfucker to be leaving the building. To pull that shit off they did last year in Dallas.
Walk with a buddy to your
That's
car.
all I'm saying.
Walk with a buddy to
Walk
your car.
with a buddy to the car.
Yeah.
That shit happened in Detroit.
Yeah.
And
I hear you.
I don't want to go to jail, but listen, these motherfuckers got to be held accountable some way, somehow. They should not be officiating games after that bullshit last year. I digress, Chris. Detroit versus Dallas. If you're saying they win, I'm just going to take the headphones off because I just don't want to hear it.
This is the one. No, man.
Okay.
They are gonna roadkill. They are gonna roadkill Dallas. You know the rage that they are gonna come out with after that. Because remember, they didn't get their get back in the playoffs like we all wanted, right? Because Green Bay did their thing. They're not gonna be happy that Green Bay did that for them. They're probably looking at even more pissed. Like, we wanted blood. We wanted to go back to their home in playoffs and crush them. And I think that this is going to be the get back of all get backs. Put money on it now because I guarantee that line is going to change. I guarantee you by the time they are playing Dallas, Detroit will be favored in that game. I think the momentum will be on Detroit's side. And I think Dak Prescott, while he had a great year last year, I'm not taking that away from him. I think that was the peak of Dak Prescott. I don't think he's going to duplicate that. I don't think he's going to come close this season. And I think that being said, you got worse at quarterback. You got worse everywhere around you. I think this is food, man. I think this is absolute food. This is the easiest game. Remember what I said about Seattle and Arizona? This is the game I have the most confidence in. Because what in Dan Campbell's regime has ever let you believe that they will come out flat for a game where they need blood. They did it one time against Carolina, but that was it. That was the lesson. And we saw that all year last year. We saw them never let up, never let their foot off the pedal. This one, all the motivation writes itself. The script writes itself, man. They're gonna crush them.
I got the Lions. How could I not? They are about to go in there and they gonna beat that ass.
Amen.
I am a fan of guys with big butts.
Amen. Shout out to the legend T. Foss. We gotta get that guy on the show here soon too.
Shout out.
Hey, tune into him tomorrow, 11 to 1 on BDE.
Oh no way! Who's he filling in for?
Let's go.
He's filling in for D-Mac?
For Flannel Sam.
For Flannel Sam? Nice. So he's the guy filling in for another guy who's filling in for another guy. Because that's D-Mac, it's Flannel Sam fills in for, right?
Hey, man, we got a rotation here. We squad deep in this thing.
Bullpen looking like the Tigers out there. Bunch of killers. You just need somebody to hit somebody. All right, we got to go to break here, Nick.
Yeah, we don't got hitters here.
I don't have hair. That's why you are in charge of giving us that Lady Jane's read.
Exactly. Got a comedian. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's, haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, and relax. And let one of the Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference: family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Road Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. Young Chris. Jesus in the building. Joseph Dion will be joining the show shortly.
Let's go.
The Eazy Sportsbook is open.
Always.
So you guys talking spicy. The book, just put your money where your mouth is. Otherwise, you really on my side. And you don't think it's going to happen. Put your money down or you capping.
I already got my money down.
I think you're muted. Damn it.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Damn, I heard you. I feel like you had a bar, too.
Yeah, I already got my money down. I already put it down at Sierra Sportsbook. And I'm putting more on it. I got at least 150 on that shit.
Hey, the Eazy Sportsbook is open. Would you like to put
No,
5
I
to
want
1?
better odds.
But you think it's gonna? Do you think it's gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna happen?
Yeah, you said you put money on.
So put the money down. Put your money where your mouth is. Otherwise, you just like me.
I already put it down. I ain't taking that.
25-50. What do you want? I want you to stand on business here. You're just telling me you put the money down. Why don't you put the money down?
I have the money down already. I can show you my bet slip. I can pull it up. I can pull up the
so you don't, and that's fair. All right, pull them. Send a screenshot to Chris. We'll pull it up. We'll put it on the show. But are you not confident enough to put more down right now with your boy at the Speakeasy Sportsbook? 5 to 1.
Hey, no, I'm not. Why would I take 5 to 1? That is
because you think it's gonna happen.
Sounds like you don't want to pay your boy. You want to pay Vegas, which is kind of messed up.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't think it's gonna happen.
Dude, I'm not taking this because look,
it's
gonna be no fun for you when the Lions win the World Series because you're gonna all these receipts. There's so many receipts. Stick's gonna pull them out.
I bet you they can
Nick's
bet
gonna
that.
pull them
Justin,
out. Broder's gonna pull them out.
But are you gonna put the money where your mouth is?
It already is where my mouth is, boy.
It sounds like
Justin
you're
wants
scared.
to. Justin wants to.
They also don't play for the World Series.
Careful with boy.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with throwing boy around in there. I'm saying.
Justin wants to keep his value high, so that's why he's not going down. He's losing value on the bet.
I
is
think
why
he's losing value.
But everybody
right now not taking the bet.
Everyone in the chat chirping, hop into Easy's sportsbook ASAP.
If you believe it's gonna happen, the belief is that it's gonna happen, right? Then what's stopping you from making the money?
And I get it. It's less
the fact
odds.
That you don't believe it's gonna happen.
It's less odds, but like, would you rather pay Vegas or pay your boy? Come on, let's be real here. I'd rather make a bet with my friend than with Vegas any day of the week.
Just saying. You know I can't cover no plus 1,300. I'll give you 6-1. But if you think it's gonna happen, why not put the money down regardless? It don't even have to be $100.
Yeah, money is money, right? Profit's profit.
And speaking of Vegas here, fellas, we're gonna hop over to Minnesota, break down a couple more games before we get Dion on here.
Yes, sir.
And are we all picking Dallas to win here? Let's just clarify that.
Yeah.
Or Dallas to lose, Lions win in Dallas.
Yep.
All right. So I got the Lions at 5-0 here, entering Minnesota. 4, I believe, will be J.J. McCarthy versus the Detroit Lions. With that stacked offensive weapons the stacked offensive weaponry that he has in Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson, I think it'll be no match for these Detroit Lions. I really don't. This spread is honestly pretty low in my eyes at -3. What do you think about that? That the Lions are favored on the road in Minnesota at a -3 spot. I got the Lions winning this one. Easy. How you feeling?
I get it's a road game.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be respectful of Sam Darnold. Honestly.
You don't think JJ will be in yet?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. How can the line be that close if we don't know the quarterback?
It's just, I think it's simply because
it's weird to me.
Because really,
in division on the road.
Yeah, because isn't like a point spread or something like that, or 3-point spread when it's like that? That's what they do to be safe.
Yeah, it's
usually.
I think it's like 2 or 3 maybe
2.5.
given.
Yeah. And that makes sense for a 3 to be there, because you're getting the extra half point as a favorite. But then you're also on the road. I mean, that's my logic thinking it, trying to break it down. But I think we should be a little bit favored by more. However, I do respect Sam Darnold and the work he's put in. I don't think JJ is going to be starting by now. I don't think JJ should be starting by now. I think it's a great situation for a rookie quarterback to be insulated in and to come up in, but I just don't think he's ready to play pro football now.
You know what I'm excited for specifically is Aiden Hutchinson wrapping out JJ McCarthy for a sack in Minnesota. That is honestly going to be so much fun to watch. Yeah, I believe we win this game, and the Detroit Lions start hot at 6-0. Chris, does Minnesota scare you at all in this game?
No, not at all. And you know, I know I don't want to jump too ahead, but Tennessee too. Like, you're looking at 7 very winnable games to start the season. It is hard to imagine 7-0, especially with the any given Sunday rule that happens. And I know I've been the appropriate fear guy throughout this whole schedule so far, but looking at it, I don't see Minnesota. I doubled down on it. Dallas was the easiest game so far for me, or the game I'm the most confident in. This is now the game I'm the most confident in for the simple reason of what I brought up earlier. We don't know the quarterback. We don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be. And I just don't see a world in which Minnesota, despite having the good weapons, despite it being a division game on the road, I get all of that. But I don't see this as a threatening game at all. I see this as one of the more favorable games. I would put it at, I would honestly, I'm kind of big on the Titans. I would honestly flip those spreads. I would honestly have a -7 spread in this game. I think that the Lions should be favored comfortably here in this game. Because I mean, you can't count on a quarterback. You're either counting on a guy who I respect, but
hey, I'm not
let's be honest,
like shoot straight.
He's a questionable starter quarterback, or you're leaning on a rookie quarterback.
Let's be honest.
So
I love what Chris got over there, because he hit the nail on the head. I think that Tennessee game in between the two divisional games is a huge trap game. I think that he hit the nail in the head with Minnesota. I think that Minnesota won't be very good next year. I think that this will be a rebuilding year for them. So I think that they're going to obviously be the one team that takes a step back. So I think that's a win for the Lions.
All right. So have any of us picked the Detroit Lions to lose a game yet?
No.
So we're all sitting 6-0 going into Tennessee.
Yeah. I have no problem with that.
Is that correct?
I have no problem with that. However,
me neither.
I was talking last night. I think it's yesterday too on our show.
About Tennessee's win total.
Sneaky. That's at home though.
Did you see the win total? Wasn't it 6.5
for Tennessee?
Yeah.
No, I took it last night. I put 10 on it.
You did?
Yeah.
So
they're going to be better than people. Listen, Will Levis. The only thing kind of holding them back, in my opinion, is the fact that division is so tough. Talked about it last night with our guest coming out here shortly, Deals with Dion. The AFC South arguably could be considered maybe the best division, just top to bottom. Because I feel like the Tennessee Titans is better than our Vikings. They have the Jaguars.
Not wild to say at all. 100%. I agree. I agree. I think that arguably is the best division in football. I think there's 4 playoff caliber teams in that division.
Colts, who almost made it last year with a backup quarterback. You also have the Jaguars, who also could have made it last year too. And then you have the division winners of that division last year.
I don't buy into the Jags hype, and I definitely think the Vikings are better than the Titans. I have more faith in J.J. McCarthy being successful in this league, even as a rookie, than Will Levis in year 2. And I believe the Vikings' skilled players are even better than the Titans' wide receivers. I know they have D-Hop, and they just got boy, Tyler Boyd.
They got Ridley. They got Boyd.
Ridley took a big step back. I don't think Ridley
really wasn't healthy, and neither was Tua.
I think the Vikings just are a more favorable matchup for the Lions than the Titans are. I don't know why. It's just kind of
they're more familiar territory. And yeah. I got Detroit Lions win regardless.
Yeah, against Tennessee.
But Tennessee's good. I think they're better than the Vikings.
If this game was on the road, then I could see a little bit of pause, a little bit of worry. But since this game is at Ford Field, I'm not concerned at all for this game. I think we're going to completely smack the Titans. This is one, when you talked about spread, Chris, this is one where I would have it boosted at least by 10 in this game. I think
you'd have it at 17.
No, I would have it at like 9.5. Like I would take it to win by 10 at least. Obviously, anything can happen in the NFL, but I think the Lions absolutely dominate this game. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be close either. So I got the Lions starting at 7-0. Does anybody else in this room have Tennessee kind of hanging in this one?
No. I think it is, like I said, I think it is a tougher game than Minnesota. I really do, but I don't think it's one that gives me concern at all. I think the fact that it is home is a huge deal, because I think had it been on the road, that might be another trap game. And you brought up a good point too about it being a trap game, just in the nature of it being between 2 divisional opponents. And let's be honest, the NFC North has high expectations this year, so it's going to be a huge priority among the Lions roster and their team to want to win those divisional games, which could lead to some overlooking of Tennessee. But that being said, I don't think it's something to worry about ultimately.
Real quick, Doug Dirk in the Woodward Sports chat says AFC North better than the AFC South. You got a great point there too. The AFC North better than the AFC South. I think the NFC North is on their way to being one of the best divisions. You got to wait to see the Vikings arrive. The same can be said for the Titans and
Jags.
Jags were in the playoffs. I mean, Trevor Lawrence wasn't healthy last year. They played for the division the last game of the year with him missing games, not playing healthy. If he could stay upright, that's a very good team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they are. In my opinion, I think they're top heavy with the Texans. I think they're just.
The Texans are top heavy?
No, I think they are obviously they are the top of that division, and I don't have faith in Trevor Lawrence yet. I have to see it with him. It's all been potential. It's all been talk with a guy like T-Law. We just haven't seen him put together a full season yet. Is this the year he finally gets it done, especially before he gets that massive deal that we're all expecting him to get?
I can tell you what, if it's not, I'll definitely be disappointed in just my expectations of him. I've seen the flashes. I think we've all seen the flashes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Even in the one playoff game he won in his first playoff game, coming back in.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one
meltdown?
I'm sorry, the second game, his second playoff game. You guys remember that 60-yard bomb he had? I think it was Christian Kirk. It was like right in his hands. He just dropped it. And I remember just being in my kitchen because I watched it on my phone, and I was like, what the? What
I'm a big T-Law guy, so
That was insane.
I think that, I don't know, though. I don't love the roster this year.
That's
I think
fair.
that the roster is going to hold him back, but he has it. He has it. When he has the right roster on him, he will win.
Sounds good. And make sure everybody stay tuned because we have Dion coming on. Very exciting stuff. Going to come in with that heat as always.
But first, I got to tell y'all where to get some pre-rolls. Come on, man. You know this. Glorious Cannabis is back with a new ice water bubble hash pre-roll now with diamonds. It just ain't the same without you dropping the Glorious, Nick. It ain't the same. Constantly creating the best cannabis experience. There we go. The perfect boost comes with the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with the highest terps to make the best even better. Glorious Cannabis, check them out at your local retailer or get them at gloriouscanna.com.
Smoke weed every day. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Expo Dispensaries, your local cannabis plug for a reason. There's 6 locations more across the great state of Michigan. They got the largest name brand variety of products, the best bud tenders, the best deals. Head over to disposhops.com to find one near you. Or visit Dispo Dash for them deliver right to your door. Must be 21 and older to participate as Dispo, your local cannabis plug.
Smoke weed every day.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Road Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario, Young Chris, Juices, and the young GOAT, Dosa Dion. Hey,
yo. Damn,
Easy.
fresh out that job interview.
Man, you know what? I was like, I'm not going to take it off because you feel fancy when you're wearing it.
Kinda
you know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie. You do.
You feel different. I unbuttoned it, so it looks kind of goofy, but I was like, I kind of feel fancy walking around here, out here on a farm. So I'm like, I'm just going to wear this thing to the show because, I gotta up my presentableness. Easy. That's what I need to improve upon.
You're saying I'm not presentable enough? What are you saying?
No, I'm saying I'm not. I come on the show all the time. I've never come on here with a tie. I mean,
Yeah.
at some point, we gotta,
This man outdressed you on your own show, Easy.
I know, what the hell? Get him off
I could use the
get him off the screen. I'm playing.
button up and tie right now.
Hey, Dion.
That mustache looking good though. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Appreciate it. Right back at you. Let's go.
That mustache is worthy of the compliment, Dion. We, you and I are on the phone before the show, and I was talking how and tell me if I'm wrong, and this contract kind of meets both ways of the Jared Goff road. The people that think that he's good and elite, and the people that think that there's more to be desired. I feel like with the final 2 years, especially that 4th year, being an option, I think it ties into the side of where I stand, where I'm I think there's more to be desired, but you can win games with him. And then also the money-wise, though, speaks to the guys on your end where you view him as, where is he in your top 10? We never had that discussion. Top 7.
Top. He's definitely top 7. I don't know where he'd be on top of my head. I don't know exactly.
That's good.
It'd be, he'd be top 7 though.
That's fair. Where you at with the contract though? I mean, you feel that kind of meets both standards?
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, the one thing that you brought up, we talked about was the no trade clause. I think that's really interesting. But yeah, from what I was able to tell, just kind of a quick little search, most quarterbacks do have that. I think the interesting thing though, because we look at his cap hits, so this year they dropped it a little bit, which we do see. They dropped it to 27 million. Don't know where they're going to use that, but now over the cap says we have 30 million in cap space. So it's just interesting. If you want to make a move, you're going to have a ton of flexibility. Also, potentially some of that could be rolled over. I don't know exactly how much they've rolled over. I could look at that, figure that out over the last couple of years because there's a limit, but the money has to be spent. However, they might be able to roll over a good chunk of that, help them next year potentially, and then just keep moving that. With that being said, though, it's that third year, right? It's that third year where his cap, it's like $70 million. And I just believe that there's probably going to be something that shakes there because, if you look at Mahomes' deal, I think next year his jumps too pretty massively. And then in 2026, they're like, yeah, we're preparing to restructure that. It would make a lot of sense that a 24% cap percentage is what is projected now. Maybe the cap goes crazy. I mean, we got all these international games. Maybe the cap goes crazy and we're like, actually, this is fine. But having seen the Lions restructure his deal multiple times, it wouldn't maybe surprise me that 2026 would turn into this is a good spot to restructure. He's got $35 million of base salary, even though that will become fully guaranteed from my understanding. I do believe that you could actually still restructure that money because it's considered base salary.
That's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I said.
Dion, and the big news, obviously breaking last night, the Lions versus the Rams, the rematch, Matthew Stafford coming back. You obviously do a great job breaking down Lions content. I want your opinion on this Matthew Stafford tribute video. Yes or no? Dion, where are you at?
Shout out Gun Guy.
All right, I gotta. Hey, wait! Time out. Did we have a tribute? Was there a tribute video?
There was
when
not.
It was the playoffs.
No,
there was not.
Hell no. Heck
and
no.
now this is Sunday Night Football to open the Lions season.
I would say no. Say no. And I'm a Stafford guy. I'd say no. It's just weird, man. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can understand why you didn't do it in the playoffs, right? That's the emotion. And then you could say week one, okay, there's, you could pull back a little bit. Nah, I wouldn't though. I wouldn't. It just feels weird now. Now it feels like you're kind of forcing it. Like, let's do a tribute video, bro. It's been years now. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it's not like the NBA where we see him all the time. I love me some Matthew Stafford. Always will. I think he's one of the best in football. I thought he was the best quarterback in 2021 when they won the Super Bowl. That being said, nah, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
One more point too, Dion. I'm sorry because I'm bouncing back and forth between the chat and you. But on the golf stuff, I think you made a great point in like the cap too, as well, carrying on with the national games, international games, I should say, Amazon, all that other good stuff too. What is your favorite game on the schedule though?
For the Lions?
Yeah, just like climax wise. Pause.
No, I would. I mean, probably it's hard not to say the Dallas one. Anytime you play Dallas, there's just something different about it. Coming off a bye week, I'm pretty fired up to see that.
Yeah,
because everybody just wants to get them back, and that environment just does feel different when you play Dallas. It doesn't feel like they have a home field advantage. It just feels like it's big. That being said, though, like to be honest, the most anticipated matchup will be probably Green Bay this year. I feel like we have something to give them this year. I know we've talked about this. All right, I'm down on Green Bay. You're higher on Green Bay. I just think that this is a year where we just smoke the Green Bay Packers, and I'm anticipating that's going to happen. In that first meeting, we beat them by like 30. So that's what I'm looking forward to is just destroying the Green Bay Packers. But man, it's a beautiful schedule. I love the primetime games.
Yeah, Nick, this guy has Green Bay taking a step back. Where are you at with that?
I mean, they got so hot to end the season. Honestly, I don't think that's sustainable. So I'm with Dion in a sense where I could see them taking a step back in a way. And I mean, when Dion came on last time, I was in lockstep with him where I think Chicago can be better than expected. So I think I could see them being a lot closer than people expect.
That's what Dion has too.
One of the biggest games in this season is at the Texans. I plan on being down there in Texas for this one with fam, which will be absolutely electric. But Dion, how are you feeling about the matchup of the Lions at Houston for a Sunday night football game?
Yeah, I think Houston's one of the best teams, man. So when we were doing like our early prediction, I gave us a loss there. You have to have some losses. It is one of those. It's one of those things where I can't give them all wins, and people will think I'm going too far. But Houston is just really good. Like I don't have a lot of issues with Houston. I don't have issues with what they lost in free agency. I don't think it changes the team drastically where it's like, oh, they're going to fall back this year. And I don't believe that CJ Stroud is going to take a step back. Like I don't see that. The only thing that could go wrong is maybe there's like some inside the house stuff, or maybe there's injuries where it's like, oh, Stephon Diggs kind of a mess with him in the building. But outside of that, to be honest, like as a player, I think CJ Stroud proved last year, could be wrong, but I think he proved last year he's the top 5 quarterback in the league right now. I thought he should have been the MVP last season. They wouldn't do that, but I think they are just a really good team. They have a great coaching staff we've already seen. They've gotten a lot out of defenders that, for the most part, like they were not household names last season, but they're becoming household names because of what they did in that defense. So overall, I just think it's extremely well-rounded. To do what they did with basically no run game last season, if they can just find that at all this year, they're one of the most well-rounded teams in football. I wouldn't be shocked if they represented the AFC this year.
So that's where I'm at too. I'm going to try to go to that game too. I talked to you about that last night. Actually, we should hit that up and try to make that happen. I really want to, just because I do feel like they could represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, and also it's just a great test for us to see like where we're at as a team as well. I love going against those caliber of teams because you get the idea where you are. Last year, the Baltimore game, it was an eye opener. You know, it really was. I think for a lot of people, I had somewhat of expectations of some of that happening, but not to the degree that it kept happening over again.
That was ugly.
Another one of those games where let's stop that from happening or beat them, and then you have a better idea of where you're at as a team. The KC game, I understood that happened last year, but we all know there was context surrounding it, you know? So, I felt great. I'll take W any day. But I also want to know where we stand as a team.
Yeah, I think the difference with the Texans, obviously, is they don't have as mobile as a quarterback as Lamar when he was tearing us up, and it was a game outside where we saw Jared Goff obviously throw some ducks to the dirt there. But moving forward with this one, Dion, it seemed like we saved a little bit of cap with Goff for this year. What is your expectation moving forward? Are there any free agents that stand out to you? Maybe in the safety room, maybe a wide receiver. Is there anything that you want to see this Lions team address before moving on to training camp?
Well, definitely safety. I think that still makes a ton of sense. I'm glad that we got CJ Moore back, so you can make a case they don't do anything there, but I think they will. I mean, they really don't have enough bodies, I don't think yet, especially if Aki's playing running back. But Eazy asked me about receivers. We talked about receivers a little bit, and I just went through some of the names that are out there. Most of these names that I had really financially aren't going to be that big of an impact for this season, but I do think that that's a position that you can look around the league. A lot of those guys, a lot of the guys that could become available on that final year, going into that final year of the rookie deal, and there's a lot of play. Like if I just ran through some names, not saying all of these that I want, but you could say Treylon Burks. Wouldn't be shocked if that guy got cut. I wouldn't, just what they added to that team. Maybe it's the 7th round pick that gets him, right? Terrace Marshall may take something there. David Bell for Cleveland. I think he'd be a great fit for the Lions. May take a draft pick, probably not much. I think there's a loaded room there. Josh Palmer, right? I mean, I don't know what his expected role is. Probably going to be a little bit bigger. De'Ami Brown, it sounds like he's getting cut from Washington because they gave number 2 to Mikey Sainristil still, and that's his number. I don't know if that means anything this far in the offseason, but that happened. So there's those options. And then there's still the options of, Quintez Cephas just became available. I'm not sure why. I didn't really dig into that one. Kadero Hodge, right? He could become available. Wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I thought he did fine with the Lions. So I'm leaving my, I think there's still tons of options at receiver. But at the same time, I think Brad does like what he has. And I think Brad looks at it as if he's going to invest in a guy like they did with Peoples-Jones, he wants to find a way to give them an opportunity to prove themselves. And I think the way that Peoples-Jones ended, while there was no standout game, he still did end on the right track. Like, it wasn't like we left with a bad taste in our mouth with Peoples-Jones. It's like, oh, he's finding a little bit of a role here. So I think that if Brad sees that, that's who he's going to re-sign going forward, while that's also the guys that he's going to give an opportunity for. But safety and receiver make a ton of sense to me. Yeah,
I'm with you too. I saw a couple of names in Woodward Sports Chat. Some people mentioned Calais Campbell. Does that pique anybody's interest?
He's still available?
I saw in the chat. I don't know if he is necessarily still available.
Yes, he is still available.
A couple guys that stood out to me on that safety room. They're big names, and I don't know if we're going to get your thoughts on it and everybody in the rooms later, but I want Deion's if we can.
You want to go to break, come back?
I got 2 massive names for when we get back from break for Deion.
Let's do it.
See if they're a fit with the Detroit Lions.
All right.
First, Nick, tell us about
if you want to get fit, make sure you go to Planet Fitness. It's the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. Check out Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Woodward Sports Network, home of the Platte Fitness Studios. Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love wearing clothes. Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes.
Woodward Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports?
Merch.
Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today and get yourself some brand new merch.
What up, though? Welcome back to Wood Heavyweights Live, WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, Young Nicholas Kohloff, aka Detroit Mario, Christopher, Jesus, and Joseph Dion join the show. Nick, you got a list of free agents you wanted to go over today that could still be acquisitions for the Detroit Lions. I'm curious. I've yet to see this list myself.
There's one massive name on here and one familiar name that I think Dion knows who I'm talking about here. And we're going to start with the big name. It is Justin Simmons, safety of the Broncos, who would be an immediate upgrade to this safety room. He could be expensive. Pro Bowls, all pros. He has it all. Do you think that he is out of our price range? Because he would immediately help this safety room out.
You're disrespecting Kirby.
Damn it. Well, that's the challenge though, because to me, like, they made 3 safeties work at times last season. Yeah. I just wonder a little bit if he'd be willing to sign on that. Like, he may be looking for a spot where he almost guarantees to start, just where his age. Like, I would just, because I would assume he's not going to get a multiple year deal. He's probably going to get 1 year. So if he's cool with stepping in and like, hey, you might not start here because we do want Kirby and those guys to get the snaps as long as they're healthy. But my thing, he wouldn't be out of the price range because their cap space is in a good spot right now, especially if it's on a 1 year deal.
Yep.
And 2, for me, I think he's still got it. Like, I think he's arguably the best safety available. I think you make actually a really strong case he's the best safety right now, what he can do. Based on what we saw last season with the Denver Broncos, I think schematically he fits in. He brings a lot of versatility. He plays single high well. To me, I think he's probably the best safety out there. So I'm on board with that. It's just, is he on board?
Exactly. Great point. And then,
in my opinion, I think Kirby provides what you would want out of Justin Simmons. And I just don't know. I don't think Justin Simmons is bad at all. But I'm pretty sure that I think they're pretty comparable as players. I don't know. I don't see it as like a pot. I don't know. I don't see it happening, I guess.
I just think with the revamped secondary, if you were able to get an established top of the line safety to go with what you've already added, I think it could take this defense from maybe a top 15 to like creeping up top 12, top 10. But another guy in the safety room who has,
I'm just giving numbers here real quick for context too. So last year, Justin Simmons, 3 interceptions. Last year, Kirby Joseph, 4. 15 games for Simmons. Let me get it right for Kirby real quick. 15 games for Kirby. I'm trying to do pass deflections too. Pass deflections for Kirby, he had 11. Last year, Justin Simmons had
8.
Had 8. Come on. I'm just saying. Y'all disrespecting Kirby here. Disrespecting Kirby.
You don't think they can play together?
I know. I think Branch can take the safety spot. I think Justin fits what Kirby does versus.
But I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth.
Exchanging him with Branch. That makes sense.
I gotcha for sure. Well, definitely a big name, safety market when we're talking maybe some safety depth here. So we're gonna go with another guy who used to play here, Quandre Diggs. If you're out on Simmons, I gotta think you're out here on Diggs too. But Dion, how are you feeling about bringing Diggs back?
Dig him.
Yeah. Okay. So just to follow up on the last point, I think one thing that's gonna be interesting is how many snaps is Brian Branch actually going to get at safety? Like, are the Lions really going to start to? Because my thing is Rakestraw gives him flexibility. I mean, heck, Terrion can play in the slot, but if that becomes like a legitimate thing, because I think the whole point here for a lot of these guys, it's not necessarily if they have to start. It's also like, hey, Kirby, and if he can start, but if you miss a guy, then what are you looking at? You're looking at essentially a rookie who has not played, and then you also have CJ Moore, who I do like. But just athletic traits, what they bring as a well-rounded player, you could want to improve upon that. For me, Quandre Diggs, super smart player. I didn't realize it until watching him recently. Like, this guy, he's really smart in the back end. He takes his football away. He's obviously played in kind of that single high role, and he's been super natural there. So talk about what you could, if you didn't have Kirby for a game, he could play that role. My thing is that if you're willing to give Brian Branch those snaps and you do feel fine with just depth in general, Brian Branch to me could play a lot of that role that Quandre Diggs can play. But I love the tone setting, the mentality that he plays with. It's kind of like CD Deuce. The dude will hit people. So I think the Lions will be on board with that kind of mentality. And I think he'd also have a lot of immediate fans if he signed here. I'm not against it. I just wonder if Branch is going to play snaps. I don't think maybe it's necessary, but that just comes back to the whole depth point as a question in general.
Yeah, I see it very much of a depth signing. Like I see him as the backup for Branch versus Simmons and Kirby. I think Simmons, Kirby, same style safety. Branch, Quandre Diggs, same style safety. Like, there's two different safety positions.
Yeah.
I think Branch is going to play more safety this year just because of what we saw in the NFC Conference Championship game. His snaps were limited, being on the field because he was playing that nickel spot strictly. And then also I think, not to mention, like Tyrion and Rakeshaw who could play that nickel spot versus Branch. You also have Amik Robertson. So if Tyrion ends up taking up the outside spot, you still have Amik who is capable of starting at, I think, either or spot where Branch could comfortably just play safety and do what he does. I think the one thing where it does get interesting, though, in my opinion, Fontu Melifonwu. If you want to get all your best playmakers out in the field, I think he showed you something last year. Maybe you do allow him to play safety and you do keep Branch in the nickel spot. Or hopefully Branch gets comfortable enough where he could kind of just do both throughout the season.
Yeah, I was going to say, to me, like, there's no way I'm taking Iffy off the field. Not after last year. Because one, I got to figure out if I got to pay him. So it was like a half of the season where he was elite. So I need to figure that out immediately. I think Kirby's more of the question than anything. Because Brian Branch, to me, can play some of that Kirby role. But to me, I think if you got your best players on the field from what you start Brian Branch in the slot, and then you leave Kirby out there. That being said, if you're going to play more man-heavy, depending on what you ask of him, it could make sense to say, hey, Brian, you kick the safety in this spot. Then Kirby, I think, is now kind of like that guy that's going to have to really battle for a position. I would assume that he starts. I just think you're best on the field right now if he has to be part of that, if he's one of your best on the field.
Now, Dion, during our phone conversation earlier, we talked about that wide receiver position. Any guys, I guess, around camp cut. And I don't know if you looked or not, but was there anyone just top of mind? Or because we talked a little bit about T. Higgins. I don't know if you want to express that thought or not.
Oh, boy, that's juicy.
And, I don't know if we go as far as say we talked about it. It was like I sent it to you, you're like, nah. It was kind of like that was the conversation.
That's fair.
So, but I think you have the ability to do it. And Brad has made trades the last few years for going after a receiver. Now we're hearing that he's like very upset that he's still there. He obviously wants the big deal. That's the hiccup here. Is like, can he fit into your long-term plans? I think it would be difficult because now you'd have to mash that with, well, we really want J-Mo to connect and we want to pay that guy. So paying all three just doesn't seem like realistic. If you're going to do this, you'd have to probably make it a 2-year deal at maximum. But if you did it if you got a 1 or 2, then you could financially afford it. I just think the Lions would struggle with it because they would have to give him the extension. That'd be the vision for it. So I like the idea because you can do it right now, but I think long-term it would surprise me to do it. However, some of those names that I brought up just as guys to kind of keep an eye on, like I brought up before. Again, I think these 3 guys are probably Treylon Burks might not get cut. I think Terrace Marshall might get cut. I think De'Ami Brown's going to get cut. I think there's multiple players like that. The David Bell one intrigues me. I think Dwayne Eskridge might get cut from Seattle. He hasn't really done anything. So you have a lot of high profile players a few years ago that we liked in the draft that I think are going to become available. And even if it's not a cut, maybe it falls into kind of like what we did for Mims. It's a 6th round pick that pulls that player away from the team. And none of those would be much of a cap hit necessarily. That would be more so of okay, are you going to pay him long term? But for the most part, all of those guys would be on the cheaper side. I will say though, I'm not giving up on the Josh Palmer one. All right. Josh Palmer, the Chargers, for whatever reason, want to move off of him. Come to Detroit. You'd fit in perfectly. That'd be amazing.
Dion, real quick, another just wide receiver one that our guy Juice brought up a little bit earlier. And that 2026 season, Penei, Amon-Ra, Goff, if they're not restructuring, those 3 alone make up 46% of our salary cap space. Juice brought up a wide receiver that may be on a trade situation if he's not going to be re-signed, if he can't afford it, in Jameson Williams. I just want to get your take on that. I thought it was an interesting point he made.
Are you saying trading away Jameson?
Just because you wouldn't, Juices, I should probably allow you to explain this one.
Yeah.
It's your.
Hello, Doses. I'm Juices. My question is, Jameson Williams, with all these contract extensions that are piling up and all this money that's being tied into all these guys, is there a possibility that we might have to move off J-Mo because we can't pay him, or he doesn't fit into our plan anymore?
I'm not gonna say it's impossible. I mean, it's a fair argument because of what we've seen so far. That being said, I don't see that. I don't even believe for a second that could happen because I do believe that Jameson's gonna take off this season. I think he's figured out how to play within this offense. But it's a valuable point because if Jamison Williams doesn't continue to kind of sink into this makes him the most effective in this offense and be able to be at his most effective in this offense, he does become, I think, an asset. Like he's an asset elsewhere. Teams would give up a lot for that piece. They give up a ton for receivers. So I think it's an interesting question. I think it makes a ton of sense. I hear what you're saying because you're going to be paying Hutchinson. That's a done deal. So it's just what do you do with J-Mo? Do you even pick up the 5th-year option? Because if you're not giving an extension on top, now you got a super high cap it that you didn't put an extension on. So is it a tag and trade situation? I think it's a very interesting idea, and especially for what he's done so far. If I didn't have the name to it, I would say that makes a ton of sense. But I think he's kind of in a spot now where it's like there's nobody in front of you, dude. You're going to play a huge role. We saw, again, you ended on the right direction. It's time for you to take off in this offense. This is your time to go. It's your first full season as the guy. It's time for you to go in this offense. So I don't see it happening, but I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I think he's going to absolutely explode this season, Dion. And this schedule, it's grueling. It's a tough schedule. This division got better. But I got to get your take on it. We know you are the voice of the Lions fans. What do you have, Dion? Schedule prediction. What is this Detroit Lions record going to be at the end of the season, Dion? I don't know if you've gone game by game yet, but what do you got?
Yeah. No, I've gone by game by game. I'm actually real curious. Did you guys give yours before I get mine?
We got to week 7 before we had you join the show. I don't think we have a single loss.
I will say mine. I'm at 13-4. I think the Detroit Lions will go 13-4.
That's
what I had. I had 13-4 last
All right, my bad.
13-4. No, it's good. That's what I had. I had to start 8-0. I do think though there's like 2 games there that can hook us up. I think it's Seattle. I actually don't know what the other one off the top of my head. See, I think Arizona's gonna be interesting too. But it's Seattle and it's Indianapolis. I think those 2 are gonna be real interesting for us. But overall, 13-4 feels right. And now it doesn't sound crazy. Look, I'm saying 13-4 easy. We're saying 13-4, and now my man's saying 13-4. Yeah. This is normal as a Lions fan. Forget what actually happens. The fact that in the offseason we're talking about this and this feels kind of normal, this is pretty amazing. Let's just lift this up as Lions fans. Quick clap for that. Good stuff, Dan Campbell.
I'm with you.
Goodness, man.
Last night, I think I actually went 14-3.
Damn.
Even. I think.
My camera was so excited it froze.
We have to go to a break anyway. Yeah, I appreciate you joining us, man.
Shout out, Dion.
What a face it froze on. That's awesome.
Yo.
Appreciate it.
At least I'm happy.
That's very true.
There,
Yeah, man, I appreciate
y'all, man.
You guys make sure you follow Dose of Dion on Bleacher Report. He goes live every once in a while from the app itself. Breaking news. He broke down the schedule immediately last night, as well as his YouTube channel, Dose of Dion 2.0. We actually did a schedule breakdown there game by game last night as well. So if you want to see me be a slappy, I had the Lions going 14-3 first look at it last night.
Check it out.
Crazy stuff.
And what should we be checking out in the morning, Nick?
The morning show. If you are waking up and not immediately putting on Wake Up Woodward, you are doing it wrong. Check out Broder, JB, KG, Kool-Aid, and Flannel Sam every morning as they bring you the heat. Wake up with the Woodward crew. Wake Up Woodward. Check it out.
Check it out.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Guardian Alarm, it's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Call 1-800.
Stay out.
And know that Guardian Alarm sent you.
What up, though, and welcome back to the closing minutes of Woodward Heavyweights and Nicholas Kohloff's debut on the desk.
Let's go.
I'd say it was a good show. Went by pretty quick.
Yeah, it flew by here. Honestly, sweating a little bit. You know, it's a little nerve-wracking getting up here for the first time and watching everybody do it, but just wanted to shout out everybody, honestly. Like you and Spencer, obviously, Chris, JB, who taught me everything in the sound booth, to all the Woodward Knights guys in the prior too. And then obviously just being on the heavyweights now. Thank you guys all. Thank everybody listening and not roasting the hair too bad. Appreciate it. This was a little bit last minute put on. So shout out all the listeners. Make sure you guys smash that like button. And it's been fun. No doubt.
Nick's debut can't get under 100 likes. What are we doing here, fellas?
Come on, smash that like button.
We're in the final stretch. We got just a couple minutes here before we wrap this up. We need 13 likes. We need to get to that 100 piece. Right now, it's saying it. We're at 87. We got to get to 100 piece for Nick. Come on.
100 piece.
Come on. Big Nick in his debut. Detroit Mario. Come on.
Let's go.
We got to do it right. We got to do it right. Do we got any mailbags, Eazy, or anything?
We run a real quick mailbag segment. I could continue on the beef with Biggins, but I know where Biggins exists.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all that.
Shout out to Andrew.
So maybe I won't do that. Go ahead, send your mailbag questions in. People in the chat saying, what backcourt? It's just Biggins. I told you I'm not going there. I apologize. I said that's a fantasy 13 wins. I could also see 13 wins, but I did try switching my shit to 13-4. I remember now because I had the first game against the Packers as a loss. I mean, revenge game at home.
I remember last year when we did the schedule. I think you were trying to switch one over too. I forget which one it was. I think we all ended up at 12-5 though, because I remember filling in that show when JB was teaching me the sound booth, and we were all in lockstep at 12-5, and look what happened. So 13-4. Let's do it again.
I think the cool thing too is like this is a tougher schedule than last year's was.
Extremely,
and we still have just as many, a lot more wins technically this year.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it. This is a lot harder of a schedule, but I believe this team is a lot better. We've upgraded in the biggest spot, our secondary, and I believe James Houston coming back is going to make a big difference for this team when it comes to rushing the passer. And you think about a guy like DJ Reader just making everybody around him better. I have really high hopes for this Detroit Lions defense this season.
You think it hits the ground running, or it takes a few weeks to save her?
Microwave Nick, I think it hits the ground running.
God damn it.
I really do. Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Terrion Arnold. You think about a guy like Rakestraw that fell to the second round when he was regarded as one of like the top 5 cornerbacks coming out in this draft.
Yeah.
So I think that it is. Talk is cheap. We're coming in hot. Let's go. I think this defense, it might take a second for the secondary to truly gel, but I think the additions that we've made with Reader and then also bringing in Davenport and Houston on the defensive line will allow them the time to kind of fully develop into a working unit on the defensive end.
Yeah, he's the only piece that I'm not comfortable with going into the season on that defensive end.
Davenport or Houston?
Davenport. The rookies are the rookies. Like, they're going to – I'm not microwave Nick in that aspect. Like, I think they're going to need a taste. I think they're going to have a good taste, too, in the first game against a guy like Matthew Stafford. I mean, what a great learning experience that will be for those rookies at, like, what difference level this is. A Matthew Stafford versus a freaking, no offense, or, versus J.J. McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? It's just the game is so much different, so much faster. So I think they need to get those reps in against those type of guys, and then I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But Juices, I don't get to speak with you very much on the matter at all. What do you think about this defense? Will it hit the ground running, or are you okay with it taking 3 to 4 weeks to be what it's going to be?
I think it's going to have a slight hiccup. I think we're going to see some shootouts in the first couple weeks of the season. I think the defense isn't necessarily going to be elite just off the bat. I think we got some great pieces. I absolutely love the signing of Carlton Davis. I love him as a player. He's got pedigree. Pedigree is so important when you're trying to reach that Super Bowl level. I think that our defense will be at that level, and I do think we can win a Super Bowl based on how we're building our team. Now, since our offense is so good, we're building our defense out and making our defense elite, and I think that's such an important factor when your quarterback is not necessarily a superstar like Mahomes, where he can win without the defense. I think the defense becomes so much more important to this rebuild. I mean, it's not a rebuild at this point, but I agree. I think there's going to be a quick step back and then a huge jump forward.
Shout out Justin for filling in the sound booth today. Would not have been able to be on this desk without it. Shout out Spenny at the wedding. I got to think Spencer is an absolute weapon at a wedding.
For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Especially if there's an open bar.
This new version of Spenny, he's slimmed down, been in the gym.
Yep.
Like, he's enjoying the fruits of his labor night. At least he better be. I'm be disappointed. Real quick, I want to address this mailbag. Chef Talks Lions. How could Eazy, All that Aussie talk yesterday, plus this thumbnail today, and not call on Chef. Chef, it's a two-way street, brother. Phone lines were open yesterday, weren't they?
Phone lines were open and working.
Chef, it's a two-lane street, brother. You can't be going at me. Where were you? That's the real question. Where were you?
And maybe we can take some predictions tomorrow when it comes to the full schedule.
Yes.
Especially,
yes,
I believe
yes,
Spencer
sir.
will be back tomorrow. So want to shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching. Obviously, first time on the desk here. It was a lot of fun. Shout out Eazy. Thank you, everybody. Honestly, shout out the heavyweights. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Eazy, take us out.
Listen, guys, make sure you smash the like button for Nick's debut. I'm very proud of this kid everywhere he's been.
You know what?
From the back to the booth and beyond. The sky's the limit. Make sure you're looking out for him game day. He's going to be doing his interviews, whether it's for Woodward Sports or Tailgate Wins. Follow him at that, by the way, at Tailgate Wins.
Shout out.
Follow Jesus at iHeart. I'm just going to say something inappropriate.
14 Sitawa on Twitter.
No one's going to know how to spell it. You got to change that for sure.
D-Sharp Mario, hit me up.
I'm rebranding my app.
Chris is rebranding his app, but if you type in Chris Platte,
you'll find me.
Yeah.
I'm the famous one.
Although he's the real one.
I'm the famous one.
The real Chris Platte.
The famous one.
You probably are the most famous Chris Platte.
Absolutely.
You also
I dominate the Chris Platte world.
I dominate mine too. Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We out.
We out.
Love you all.